Alright, welcome aboard. Thank you for listening to my presentation today. Before I get started, I want to speak just briefly on the topic of weight loss. I feel like this is a very universal topic in our society today. Everyone has had their own kind of journey as opposed to in regards to their body structure, whether it's weight loss, weight gain, no matter what the goal is, everyone's had their own journey on that kind of process. And I want to speak a little bit on that today. I myself have lost 100 pounds over the past year. I kind of went through a whole transformation and a whole journey within my own body and with my own physical needs. So it's really interesting to see, and it was very interesting to be able to process that information and digest it. So I want to share that information with you today. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to read a nutrition label. That is going to be the biggest factor of weight loss and weight gain, and your whole journey within your body is knowing what goes into it, what comes out of it, and how that process works. Being able to have that base knowledge and break it down is essential to nutrition and what you're going to do within your body. Nutrition is defined as the process of consuming, absorbing, and using nutrients from food that are necessary for growth, development, and maintenance of life. So when we all are children, we all grow up, we all kind of learn nutrition. We learn about food is energy, food is fuel for our bodies and for the human experience. But we're going to break down that nutrition definition just a little bit more and see just kind of how exactly food is fuel, and be more mindful of what we're putting into our bodies and what is fueling us. So before we get to the label, I want to go over a couple of big main factors that are going to be on every single nutrition label that you see. And those are going to be proteins, carbohydrates, and lipids. So proteins are going to be the workers. Those are on every single nutrition label you see. You're going to see the amount of proteins that are in there. They are the workers of the cell. They're going to help carry out different functions. They're not exactly energy. They're not the energy that fuels you, but they are the muscle men that do the work. They create the energy for you. So without the protein, you're not quite getting that energy that you need. Carbohydrates is just another word for sugar. Every single carbohydrate is a sugar molecule. So whenever people are doing these ketogenic diets or trying to cut out their carbs, they're cutting out sugar, because a carbohydrate is, in its simplest form, just a sugar molecule. And obviously we know sugar is kind of an energy booster. Sugar is what gives us fuel. So carbohydrates are also what give us fuel. They are what give us energy. They are what stimulate our brains and our minds and our bodies and our muscles. So there's kind of a difference between the carbohydrate and the sugar, but in the same, a carbohydrate is just a more complex sugar. But this is kind of referred to as a bad term in our society today, but it's really not. Carbohydrates are essential for our bodies today. We need sugar. We need that energy to live, to consume what we have to do and to provide all the things that we have to do. And then the last category over here is lipids. That's going to be our fats, our saturated fats, our trans fats. We're going to get into that a little bit more as we go on. But lipids are also kind of known in our society today as a bad term, as a bad word. But our body needs fats. Our body needs essential fats. It needs these essential nutrients to create energy and to produce different things. It needs all of these functions right here. It needs all of these molecules to go in. And then down here I have macronutrients versus micronutrients. Macronutrients are what you're going to see right here: proteins, carbohydrates, lipids. Those are going to be the big things on the label. So that big list at the top of the nutrition label is going to be these macronutrients. And then below that, where it has a percentage, where it's going to be vitamin B, vitamin A, vitamin C, those are going to be your micronutrients. So there's a big difference between those. Those ones are counted in percentages, while these are normally counted in some kind of numerical form, whether it be grams or whatever it is. Alright, so today we are going to look at the nutrition label of a Takis. This is a full-size Takis bag. This is a full serving. It's not a single size. It's a full, normal bag of chips. Right? So we're going to look at a couple things here. We're going to look at our nutrition label. The first and most important thing is the serving size. So the serving size for this bag right here says 1 ounce. It's about 12 pieces of Takis, right? So people see all these numbers, they say 150 calories, they think, oh, that's great. But we have to look at the serving size, because there's about 20 servings of these in one bag. So if we were to eat this whole bag of Takis, that would be about 2,000 calories. That would be your calories for the day. So we have to really be careful about when we're looking at serving sizes, because the serving size is going to determine what the rest of these numbers are. If you have more than that serving size, you're going to have more than these numbers. If we go a little bit deeper into our macronutrients, we have a total fat percentage right here. We have the grams. We have saturated and trans fats. We also have polyunsaturated and monounsaturated. Saturated and trans fats are going to be your more unhealthy fats, your more oils, your more, harder to digest molecules in your body is what the top two are going to be. Polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats are going to be your healthier oils that come from things like salmon, avocado. Your body needs fat. Your body needs fat to produce certain hormones, to produce certain nutrients that help fuel you. But the polyunsaturated and monounsaturated are going to be the big factors that are going to really separate that apart. Those are what you're looking for. We have cholesterol right here. Obviously, these Takis have 0 cholesterol, but cholesterol is a huge thing. Your body actually makes 80% of the cholesterol that you need. So it's really, cholesterol is pretty redundant. You don't really need to intake cholesterol. Your body pretty much makes the most of the cholesterol that you need, and that is a lot of the reason why people have heart disease and people have different complications with that aspect of their body, is because we're making so much cholesterol, we don't really need to intake anymore. If you look at the carbohydrates right here, we're going to have 17 grams of carbs. Like I said, that's going to be a sugar molecule. We have total sugars right here. That is going to be different kinds of sugars, like simpler sugars that aren't complex like carbohydrates that fuel you. The biggest difference to remember right here is we have total sugars is 1 gram. Included sugars is a completely different thing that kind of goes along with that. Whenever you have total sugars right here, it's going to show you the total sugar in the serving. Included sugars is what they add into it, is what the manufacturer or the provider adds into the process to make it taste sweeter or better or whatever the case is. So those are really big factors to look out for, but your total sugars is going to be your sugar overall. Next we have proteins. Like I said, those are the workers of the cell. Those are going to, kind of help you provide and kind of do the things that your cells need to do. As we can see, these Takis don't have a lot of protein here, but it all is in grams right here, and that is the amount that is each going to be all of them. The only other things that I really want to go over here, besides we're going to get into the micronutrients in just a second, is the daily value, which I personally believe is it's the least important thing of the nutrition label. Your daily value over here is going to show you the percentage of how much of that specific nutrient you need for the day. So we see right here, it says total fat, 8 grams, 10%. That's 10% of your fat for your entire day. However, this daily value is based on a 2,000 calories a day general nutrition diet, right? It's very generalized, it's very basic for just like an average human being. So this can be a kind of a good regulation. It can kind of be a good monitor to just understand where you're going and what your goals are. But everybody is different. Every human is different. Everyone processes food differently. Every human, breaks down different molecules differently. Everyone, has different physical abilities and different levels. So the daily value percentage, in my opinion, is one of the least important things of this label. Obviously, you want to look at it. You want to be mindful of it. But to understand what your body really needs, having a nutritionist, having a medical professional assisting you and even giving you possible tests and understanding how your body breaks it down is going to be the best way to be able to understand what your body needs. So today we really went over kind of just a brief summary of how a nutrition label works. Obviously, food is fuel. Food is what fuels our minds, it's what fuels our bodies, and it's the energy that we need. Nutrition and biology really go hand in hand. Understanding those different chemicals, those different chemical reactions that happen in your body is essential. to understanding how nutrition works and how your body breaks these molecules down. The biggest thing that I can say about nutrition labels is understand the serving size. The serving size on them is crucial. Just knowing how much of that you're putting into your body. If you can understand the serving size of what you're reading, then you can understand what you're putting into your body, and I think that's where a lot of mistakes are made. So if we can look at the serving size and understand how much calories, how much protein, how much fat is going into our bodies, that's going to make a huge difference. And then just know, sugars and fats, they are not an evil term. They're not an evil word. They've been kind of, crossed aside in our society today. Nobody wants to eat sugar. Nobody wants to eat fat. These are bad things for you. Our bodies need both of those things. Our bodies need sugars. Our body needs fat. So just kind of understanding that and being able to regulate that in a healthy way is essential to be able to reading a nutrition label and understanding what your body needs. I really appreciate your guys' time today. Thank you for listening to my presentation. I really hope that you learned something from the short presentation that I had for you today. And I hope that you are able to listen to your bodies just a bit more. Our bodies are all different. We all listen to something different. We all react to different chemicals differently. But I hope you can listen to your body and understand a little bit better from today what is going on in your body and the process of how that works. Thank you so much.